So, mag-tour tayo dito.
Take it all in. Most importantly, we're gonna have fun, right? We're not gonna be, there's no quiz at the end, right? If you guys have a question, you can just shout it out. And to have fun, we're gonna start off by drinking beer. So, everybody grab a taster. We are gonna be reusing the glasses, so make sure you don't get them mixed up so nobody gets cooties. That would be bad.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers!